Alright, how's it going? So I just got done watching my wife's vlog about how her and I quit smoking, and she had mentioned some of the stuff that I did, and there were some things she wasn't too sure about, so I thought instead of just typing stuff, I would go ahead and make a video response. So anyway, I've never actually done this before. This is kind of fun. Anyway, one of the things that she mentioned was a website that I went to that had some stuff. You've seen commercials for it. It's called becomeanex.org. All one word, becomeanex.org. And it's part educational and then part humorous. It's pretty cool how it's presented. So for example, it talks to you about triggers and what triggers are, and some tips on how to reprogram your brain. Once you start associating something with smoking, it's really hard to undo that connection. And so anyway, so it gives you some tips, like for example, driving around in a car, it says if you need to keep your hands busy, try air drumming, and then it has a video for inspiration of this guy going nuts, dashboard drumming. That's what it was, dashboard drumming. Anyway, and she said something about something that I used to keep myself busy. That was a game. It just had random time-killing games. So anyway, if you can't go rent a game, I guess that would be good. But if you're a gamer like me, then it really helps to just get lost in the game for about 3 days and then just come out on the other side with all the nicotine out of your system. Anyway, there was something else that I did. This might sound kind of cheesy, but we have an iPod Touch, and one of the apps on iPod Touch is it's a smoking cessation program by Max Kirsten called Quit Smoking Now. And basically it has a little bit of educational stuff, but mostly it is Max Kirsten is a clinical hypnotherapist. And so it's a few audio sessions where he puts you in a trance and then helps to kind of program your brain for being a non-smoker. And that actually helped. It helped the first time I used it, but I didn't quite make it. I only made it for like a few weeks that time or whatever. But this past time I was a lot better about watching it consistently. So that was a good deal, and I used that, and also a sleeping one that he does to help you fall asleep. I listen to those regularly at bedtime anyway, and at least once a week I still listen to the full Quit Smoking session, because usually towards the end of the week, for whatever reason, I have had a couple of cravings still after 5 months. So anyway. So I would recommend that, the quit smoking thing. That's a pretty cool deal. Even if you're a little skeptical, I was too. I'd never been hypnotized, but it kind of works. It's interesting. And then I think that was about it. She talked about me being ready, and I had tried to quit smoking numerous times. There was one year in particular, I can't remember which year. I guess it was 2010 or 2009. It might have been 2010. I was a non-smoker for like 6 months because I tried to quit smoking several times, and I would go for 3 months and then 2 months and then 2 weeks, and then a few days, and I finally gave up quitting. I was like, man, I'm exhausted. I'm tired of failing at quitting, and so I gave up for several months. And but anyway, I felt like my last shot was right before my student teaching semester, because I want my future students, to be comfortable around me, and I knew that I was going to have to get close to students, physically close, and I didn't want them to feel uncomfortable around me because I smelled bad. And so, anyway, and there just happened to be a day, I went and saw a band concert, a high school band, where my friend's the director, and they had a great performance, and I was pumped about it, driving all the way back to San Angelo, because I'm a dork like that, I guess. And anyway, I was walking around Hastings the next day, and I was still kind of, energized from that performance that I listened to. And I knew, this was around the Christmas break, and beginning of the Christmas break. And I just, something inside me said, okay, I knew I wanted to quit before I started student teaching anyway. I hadn't had the motivation to, and I kind of doubted that it was going to happen because I just wasn't motivated. But that concert actually kind of helped to motivate me. I owe those kids a debt of gratitude, really. And but anyway, and so I just said, well, I think today's the day. Because I knew student teaching was coming up, and like I said, I didn't want students to not want to be close to me because of how I smelled. So, I went and told Jenn, and I was like, I hate to spring this on you, but I think I'm going to quit smoking today. I'm about to go in there and listen to Max Kirsten and get going. And so she was very supportive, and it was great because, the very next day after we quit, the very next day she took a pregnancy test and found out that she's pregnant. And so that helped her. It was added motivation. But, it had to have been something else for her too, because she tried a few times to quit smoking while she was pregnant with our first son, and it was just too tough. She wasn't able to do it, so, and neither was I. I tried to help support her and everything. We just couldn't do it. So, but anyway, so yeah, it is tough, and just keep at it, and like she said, good luck. Thanks.